Part 9. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 83. Kaido, how did you get here? Golden Lion was also full of surprises. Although they had all been in the same pirate group, there was no friendship between them. Levi is not surprised by Kaido's arrival. After all, besides drinking, Kaido likes to fight, and this guy relies on a body that can be called immortal to commit suicide in various ways on the sea. Of course Laozi flew by. How could such a battle be so rare? Laozi Kaido stood on the square and laughed. Under his feet, several ferocious beasts and marines had died tragically. Hey! Akainu, Kizaru, Aokiji, come on together and see if you can kill Laozi. After Kaido finished speaking, he rushed towards Aokiji and Akainu who were on the high platform. Kaido has also singled out Marine several times, but each time Marine can only have at most one Marine Admiral to attack him. This is the first time that he has encountered a situation where all the high-level combat power of Marine are gathered together. Has that monster Kaido also taken action? It's getting more and more lively. Sabayati Archipelago. Shanks couldn't help but laugh when he saw Kaido appearing on the battlefield. The scale of this battle was really getting bigger and bigger. Oh my god. 4 emperors. Kaido has also appeared. If the other 4 emperors also appear, can Marine be able to withstand it? The residents watching the live broadcast were full of worries. Since the beginning of the Great Pirate Era, they have suffered from plunder. Fortunately, with the protection of Marine, they were able to survive. If today's Marine was destroyed by pirates, they would not imagine it. How will we live in the future? Frozen, time capsule. Seeing Kaido rushing towards the high platform, Aokiji's eyes flashed, he flicked his finger at Kaido, and a line of ice went down the high platform towards Kaido. Kaido also saw Aokiji's attack, but he directly used his arm to hit Aokiji's frozen capsule without dodging. A streak of ice froze Kaido's arm. Kaido shouted and the ice on his arm was shattered by him. Freezing moment. Aokiji jumped up from the chair, and then he rushed directly towards Kaido. Kaido waved his mace directly towards Aokiji. When Kaido's mace hit Aokiji directly, Aokiji transformed into an element to avoid Kaido's blow. Then he pressed his left hand on Kaido's chest, and Kaido's whole body was frozen into a big ice piece. Ice cubes, violent pheasant mouth. A huge ice eagle made entirely of ice appeared from Aokiji's palm, and the eagle crashed directly into Kaido, pushing him directly to the edge of the battlefield again. Boom! As the giant ice bird crashed into the sea, a thick layer of ice formed on the entire sea surface, and Kaido's entire body was frozen under the ice. So strong, is this the strength of Admiral? The audience watching the live broadcast exclaimed. They had heard of Kaido's reputation in 4 emperors, but they didn't expect Kaido to be defeated by Aokiji so easily. Aokiji Admiral, Akainu Admiral, go abroad quickly and put an end to these evil pirates. The people began to cheer. A bunch of idiots. How could Kaido be defeated so easily? Doflamingo sneered. He is Kaido's business partner and he knows how powerful Kaido is. Enjoyable. The sea surface frozen by Aokiji suddenly exploded. Kaido's tall figure jumped up from the sea surface, and then his body suddenly landed on the ground. Aokiji's attack just now did not cause any harm to him. Akainu, you can come too, Aokiji can't beat me alone. Kaido provoked Akainu, but Akainu sat in his original position and seemed not to hear Kaido's words at all. Akainu has also fought against Kaido several times. He also has a headache with Kaido's steel and iron bones. Aokiji frozen fruit can limit Kaido's movements. Aokiji is the best candidate to deal with Kaido. Sengoku, my old friend, let's have another final battle. Golden Lion laughed loudly, and the Sakura Ten in his hand rolled towards Sengoku. His sword energy coated the entire Marineford Earth, and finally a huge earthen lion head roared towards Sengoku. Dog bites Gurren. Akainu's figure appeared in front of Sengoku, and then the lava flowed in his hand. A huge magma dog headed towards the huge earth lion. The two giant beasts collided with each other, and the entire battlefield was covered by sand and dust for a while. Sakazuki, you are very good. When Laozi was crossing the sea, you were just a small vice-admiral. I didn't expect you to become an admiral. Golden Lion said to Akainu. When he was young, Akainu and the others were the rising stars in Marine, and now they have become the pillars of Marine in the future. Marshal, I have told you before that for people like Golden Lion who have committed such heinous crimes, direct execution is the best option. Akainu turned back to Sengoku and said. The last time the Golden Lion caused trouble in Marineford, Akainu also participated in the battle. When the Golden Lion finally collapsed, he was about to kill the Golden Lion but was stopped by Sengoku. Akainu was very dissatisfied with this, and now that he is seeing Golden Lion making a comeback, he feels more and more that Sengoku is too indecisive. Sakazuki, we are Marines. Our every move must abide by the laws we have made. Whether the Golden Lion deserves to die or not is determined by the law. If we wantonly take other people's lives, what's the difference between us and pirates? Sengoku admonished Akainu. Akainu is very dedicated to his work, but he is too absolute in his approach to things. Only soldiers can only distinguish between black and white, and as a superior, the one who gets the money, you need to consider a lot. Golden Lion, I was lucky enough to let you escape back then. I won't make the mistake Marshal Sengoku made again. Just prepare to die here. Akainu's body was covered with lava, and he was obviously ready to attack with all his strength. Leave it to me, Akainu. It's better for you to resolve your grudges with Sengoku yourself. Levi's figure appeared in front of Akainu. Levi, Akainu's pupils shrank. He had heard many rumors about Levi. Levi is a popular pirate among the new generation of pirates, and Levi is different from Golden Lion. Golden Lion is already old, but Levi is not yet. By the age of 20, his era has not yet begun. Levi, are you prepared to die? Akainu's eyes were full of murderous intent. Levi's value is much greater than the Golden Lion. Killing 10 young talents is worth more than killing an old man. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 84. Great Eruption. Akainu's fist was covered with lava, making his arm extremely huge in the blink of an eye. He punched Levi. Before the fist came, Levi felt the surging heat coming over him. Levi covered his whole body with armament haki, and he didn't dodge. His right fist hit Akainu's fist directly. Boom. Levi's fist collided with Akainu's magma fist. Akainu's magma fist seemed extremely powerful, but it was instantly shattered by Levi's fist, and their fists collided heavily. Afterwards, the ground beneath their feet suddenly shattered, and 2 huge pits 1 meter deep appeared under their feet at the same time. Akainu's eyes were even more murderous. Even Aokiji and Kizaru didn't dare to directly hit him with the punch he just punched, but the kid in front of him managed to take the blow just by relying on armament haki. Sure enough, he had some skills. It seemed that Sengoku was right, his bounty was set too low. This guy was worth at least 4 billion belly. Not bad, Akainu. Apart from Garp, this is the first time Levi has seen a Marine who can directly spar with him. Levi stepped forward again, his fist was wrapped with lightning and struck Akainu again. Akainu let out a cold snort, and hit Levi with his magma fist again. Boom. 460. The 2 fists collided, and magma and thunder suddenly flew in all directions. The people fighting around them were immediately blown away by the wind of their fists, and the area around them was forcibly cleared 100 meters away. Bang 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 bang. The fists of the 2 of them were going back and forth. Although Levi did not have authentic demon fruit power, his body had been tempered by thunder fruit for many years and had become different from what it was before. Akainu has also been immersed in this art for many years, and has reached the pinnacle in both devil fruit development and physical skills. They fought rapidly across the battlefield, and for a moment, their momentum had even overwhelmed the confrontation between Enel and Kizaru. This young pirate named Levi is really strong. The people watching the battle had already been shocked and numbed by the appearance of various god tiers, but Levi was different from them. Levi was just a newcomer who had just debuted for a few years, and he was still a newcomer. As a 20-year-old young man, he can already fight with Marine with great force. Who will be his opponent on this ocean in another 20 years? Levi, Laozi likes you, kill that Akainu. Unlike the residents, the pirates are getting excited now. Akainu is a famous iron-blooded sect in the Marine. They all pursue a policy of killing pirates. Now that Akainu and Levi are facing each other, they both hope that Levi will be killed. You can beat Akainu to death. But they are doomed to be disappointed. Akainu's strength is as tough as his character. Levi and Akainu fought for a long time and there was no winner. Although Levi has made rapid progress, his strength has only reached the level of Admiral. He doesn't have the strength to crush Admiral yet. Report to Marshal Sengoku, there are pirates sneaking into an ice lobby. During the confrontation between Sengoku and Golden Lion, the phone in front of Sengoku rang. Sengoku was shocked. Could there be another 4 emperors taking action? Who is the other party? How many people are here? Crane Vice Admiral asked calmly. There's only one person, the Marine soldier on the phone opposite said in a panic. It's getting more and more lively. Golden Lion is no longer in a hurry to fight Sengoku. Today, Golden Lion has set up a stage, and experts from all walks of life are joining the battle. He wants to see who else will come. No, he actually chopped the door of justice into pieces with one sword. The voice of the Marine soldier stopped here. Sengoku's brows furrowed deeply. Now that Whitebeard and Charlotte Linlin are intimidated by Garp, who among the pirates will be able to come to the aid of Golden Lion? This gate of justice was infinitely close to Marineford. Within a moment, they saw a small boat floating along the sea towards Marineford. When the boat floated closer, everyone saw the full picture of the boat. It was a boat shaped like a coffin, BFFH. There were 4 candles emitting cyan light burning around the boat. This ship. Someone among the pirates recognized the ship. When the ship docked, a man wearing a black hat with white fluff on his head, a black trench coat, and a burgundy-patterned shirt walked up. The most noticeable thing is that this man has a pair of eyes as sharp as an eagle. Hawkeye, Jorah Hormihog. Are you going to get into this troubled water too? Sengoku shouted directly at Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a lone ranger who has his own way. He has been honing his sword skills. He does not belong to Marine or a pirate, because he once sank a Marine warship, so he was also wanted by Marine to become a pirate. Sengoku knows that this swordsman's behavior is extremely strange, and this guy's swordsmanship is extremely strong. Although he doesn't know the upper limit of his strength, Sengoku knows that Hawkeye's strength is definitely not inferior to Admiral. Hawkeye ignored Sengoku's words. He just walked slowly and steadily toward the center of the battlefield with a fixed pace. He walked very steadily, and every step seemed to be measured with a ruler. The black knife behind Hawkeye suddenly unsheathed, and then he swept forward with the black knife. A dazzling slash appeared from his sword, and the slash swept across the entire battlefield in a semicircle. Get down quickly. Sengoku used haki to spread his voice throughout the audience, and the Marines who reacted quickly fell to the ground without hesitation. It's too exaggerated. Another monster comes out. The people watching the battle simultaneously let out an exclamation. After Hawkeye's slash, the entire battlefield was littered with corpses. Countless ferocious beasts were cut in half by him. Marine, who was slow to react, was also cut in half by him. Even Marineford's the tall buildings were all cut into 2 by him. Hawkeye actually cleared the melee with one strike. The slash flew towards the Golden Lion quickly. At this moment, the Golden Lion's eyes were full of solemnity. He placed both Sakura 10 and Deadwood in front, and then crossed his swords and slashed forward fiercely. The moment the two great swordsmen's strikes intersected, everyone's eyes turned white. When the image bug scene reappeared, Hawkeye Mihawk and Golden Lion Shiki stood opposite each other. Hawkeye gently stroked his black knife and said to Golden Lion, "Black Knife Knight, the supreme sharp knife, Hwa Dinka." Then Hawkeye's eyes suddenly became extremely sharp, and he pointed his black sword at the Golden Lion and said, "Swordsman Jorah Hormihawk challenges Hyaga, the world's greatest swordsman." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 85. Golden Lion also looked at Hawkeye solemnly and gave him a swordsman's salute. Golden Lion Shiki, please advise. Hawkeye slowly raised his black sword. As the black sword was raised, a buzzing sound came from the blade. A slash flew towards the Golden Lion quickly. Almost as soon as Hawkeye swung his sword, the slash arrived in front of the Golden Lion. The two swords in Golden Lion's hands were unsheathed at the moment he swung them. Hawkeye dragged the black knife down from the sky towards him, and the black knife danced into a will and cut towards him. The two bodies were intertwined and fighting together. Golden Lion felt that Hawkeye's whole body had turned into a sword at this moment, and the sword light was vertical and horizontal in the space. Hawkeye feels that Golden Lion is very different from ordinary swordsmen. Swordsmen all pursue ultimate sharpness, while Golden Lion's moves are extreme compression. When compressed to the limit, it is soft and explosive. It was the first time that Hawkeye saw this kind of swordsmanship, and he couldn't help but become even more excited. The whole sky was filled with sword strikes. It was the illusion caused by Hawkeye's extremely fast swing of the sword. The old moves had not yet been fired, but the new ones had already appeared. The Golden Lion's hands were waving very fast. Due to the flow of the two swords, the Golden Lion's slashes were several times faster than those of ordinary swordsmen. The slashes were like strong winds heading towards the Eagle Eye. Their sword energy was scattered, and Marineford Square was destroyed again. The 50 large fleets under the Golden Lion and the Marines who were fighting were embarrassed to avoid the scattered sword energy. The two fought together again, and now everyone suddenly realized that their swords were like apprentices who had just entered the sword, and they were no longer as bright as before. Every move they made became extremely slow. His eyes became more and more serious. They all felt that the enemy in front of them was their own kendo enemy. Golden Lion, you also take my strongest move. Hawkeye black sword stood on the ground and he said solemnly. The black sword held by Hawkeye was originally covered with pitch black armament haki. At this moment, his haki slowly faded away, and finally gathered on the blade and turned into an undetectable fine black line. Then Hawkeye's sword energy floated towards Golden Lion. Golden Lion's face was full of solemnity, and he began to move slowly with both swords in hand. Look, the sky is split. When their slashes collided, their sword energy also split the clouds in the sky. Two great swordsmen from different eras demonstrated their exquisite swordsmanship to the world in front of the world. At this time, countless swordsmen watched the scene with piety. This is a battle between the world's greatest swordsmen, a battle that is difficult to erase in the history of swordsmanship. This sword duel on the battlefield that determines the fate of the world adds a bit of romance to this war. You lose. Hawkeye sheathed his sword and stood with his back to the Golden Lion. Yes, I lost, I'm really not willing to accept it. Golden Lion looked at the setting sun, his heart filled with emotion. Golden Lion was convinced that he lost this battle. His body had returned to its full strength, and he still lost to Hawkeye after all. Your thoughts are too complicated, swordsman. You have no other choice but to give up swordsmanship. And you, not only demon fruit power, but also want to dominate the world, you are no longer a pure swordsman. Hawkeye's eyes were still very calm, as if nothing could affect him. At this moment, he looked at this old man who looked like a dying lion, and his heart was filled with regret. Golden Lion has unparalleled talent. He became the world's greatest swordsman in Roger's era when monsters arose, and his popularity was unprecedented. It's a pity that his ambition is too great, his heart is no longer pure, and his sword is no longer pure either. After today's battle, Hawkeye lifted the knot in his heart, and he truly became the world's greatest swordsman. After that, Hawkeye once again took his pirate ship and drifted towards the sea. Gee ha ha ha, it's so enjoyable. Kids, execute the self-destruction plan. Golden Lion waved his arms and laughed crazily. After that, all the surviving pirates took out a syringe containing purple reagent and injected it. Ah! These pirates roared wildly, and then their bodies changed, as if they were like monsters. What are these? This scene was seen by all the pirates and residents watching the live broadcast, and they were all shocked beyond belief. At this time, the three admirals have returned to the high platform again. They also frowned at the scene and couldn't help but feel a little frightened. Sengoku, admirals of Marine, fight. The Golden Lion moved both swords together, and he actually pulled Sengoku and Marine Admiral into the battle group. Please give me flowers. Damn it, wait a minute Laozi, Kaido also joined in excitedly. The Battle of Marineford has truly reached its peak. Golden Lion Shiki, Marine Marshal Sengoku, Admiral Aokiji Kyuzen, Admiral Kizaru Porosalino, Kaido of the Beasts. The battle between the five people was violent and violent. Sengoku's Zoan Phantom Beast species human fruit Buddha form ability releases shockwaves, and the cold air explodes with each blast. Akainu's Logia Lava fruit ability caused a volcano to erupt, and large flaming rocks flew around Marineford. Kyuzen's Logia frozen fruit ability freezes the sea dozens of miles around the island, and the bone-chilling cold almost reaches the more distant Sabayati archipelago. 0. Porosalino's Logia flash fruit ability allows him to dance with light bombs over a large area, changing his cynical attitude in the past and attacking with all his might. Shiki's Paramecia light lion fruit ability forms a huge clay lion hundreds of meters high, roaring ferociously. Kaido has turned into a dragon and is roaring continuously. The entire Marineford square has been beaten to pieces. The entire battlefield was completely in chaos. Because Golden Lion was too old, he was gradually unable to hold on. Several members of the Marine team were all experts with rich combat experience. They attacked the Golden Lion at the same time, and the Golden Lion was seriously injured in an instant. Levi, perform the last rites. My burial place is Marineford, Golden Lion shouted to Levi. Levi and Enel looked at each other, and their bodies flew into the sky at the same time. No, stop them, Crane Vice Admiral's expression changed drastically. The other admirals were desperately held back by the Golden Lion, so several Vice Admirals gritted their teeth and rushed towards Levi. Lei Ying. Levi and Enel yelled at the same time, and then a scene that stunned everyone appeared. A huge thundercloud comparable to Marineford was thrown down by the two of them. Fuck, Kizaru and the others watched dumbfounded as the thundercloud landed. After that, the entire Marineford exploded. People watching the live broadcast only saw flashes of thunder, and the live broadcast ended abruptly. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 86. What's going on here? As Levi and Enel's thunderclouds crashed down, the live broadcast was interrupted at the same time, and everyone had an ominous premonition. Could it be that the Golden Lion and Sengoku have already died together with the three Marine admirals? All the pirates speculated with malice in their hearts. After all, they had already seen the battle at Marineford. The Golden Lion had been seriously injured, and Marine's admirals were not having a hard time. Coupled with Levi's group's last big move, they also felt a shock in the Sabayati archipelago. With such a powerful ultimate move, even monsters like Kaido should be dead, right? Everyone was frightened by this speculation. If that is really the case, I am afraid that the sea will usher in the most chaotic era. All Marine senior leaders will be wiped out, and even the 4 emperors of the pirates will be wiped out. This will be the darkest era in the world. Era. Tzalo, start grand touring and leave this place. After Levi and Enel flew Proverbs to the golden ship, he hurriedly asked Tzalo to leave this place of right and wrong. Levi felt that his vote was a bit too big. Boss, have we killed all Marines admirals? Breed asked stammering. Because he wanted to control the beasts and those pirate captains, he had always been on the Maxim, while Hancock and Zoro took the golden ship to meet near Marineford. It shouldn't be possible to kill them all. They should all be seriously injured anyway. They won't have time to cause trouble for us in a short time. Levi thought for a moment, and based on the pervert vitality of humans in the One Piece world, plus the fact that Marine admirals are the most powerful, top strength should be unlikely to fall. Levi, are you okay? Let me help you in and rest. Hancock felt distressed and helped Levi into the cabin to rest, while the little Lolita babies kept running back and forth to bring tea and water to Enel. At this time, Marineford was also in a mess. The Golden Lion had been wiped out in the explosion. Sengoku had released his great Buddha state. At this moment, all his clothes had been blown apart, and there were many scars on his body, due to consumption. Due to too much physical strength, he was panting at the moment. Akainu was coughing violently. A pool of blood flowed from his mouth. His left arm drooped unnaturally. It was obvious that the arm had been broken by the explosion just now. Aokiji was not much better. He was standing with a pair of crutches made of ice, and his left leg was bloody. With a flash of golden light, Porosalino's figure appeared in front of Sengoku again. His sparkling fruit was the fastest. At the moment of the explosion, he used the sparkling fruit to leave the center of the explosion. Even so, his body was also covered with fine scars. Marshal Sengoku, 93,251 of our 100,000 Marines were killed in action, and all remaining Marines were seriously injured, including 15 rear admirals, 10 vice admirals, and all rear admiral officers were killed. Our warships, artillery, etc., all the supplies were blown up. Kizaru looked heartbroken at this moment, and his usual playful smile was no longer the same. Sengoku looked around Marineford. At this moment, the land was full of devastation, and all the buildings had been blown up. The entire Marineford had turned into a crater. Ah! Levi, I will kill you. Sengoku has never hated a pirate so much. Even Roger, who started the Age of Discovery, was not missed by Sengoku so much. Golden Lion, you really don't want to make me feel better even before you die. Sengoku couldn't help but smile bitterly. More than 10 years ago, the Golden Lion invaded Marineford. With the cooperation of him and Garp, half of Marineford was destroyed by them. Unexpectedly, the Golden Lion came back more than 10 years later, and this time the entire Marineford was destroyed. Sengoku looked at Akainu and Aokiji again. They were both seriously injured. I'm afraid they won't be able to take action within a month. In addition, Crane Vice Admiral was also seriously injured and unconscious. This time, Marine really lost in a mess. The next day, a piece of news made the headlines of the newspaper. As the newsbirds flew around, the news became known to the world. In the Battle of Marineford, the naval headquarters, with the cooperation of more than 100,000 Marines, completely annihilated the Golden Lion's Sky Pirates. Golden Lion Shiki, the captain of the Sky Pirates and the leader of the Golden Lion fleet, fell. New World, Moby Dick. Whitebeard was drinking alone while holding the newspaper in his hand. He said to himself, Golden Lion, you died with enough grace. I am the only remnant of the old era, and the sea is going to be in chaos again. I'm getting up, I'm afraid there won't be any ships in New World that can carry me soon. Sabayati Archipelago, this is where all the New Era pirates gather, and they are also waiting for news of the Marineford War. Haha, Golden Lion is dead, wouldn't Laozi become the next 4 emperors? The Golden Lion and all the pirates under his command were destroyed in Marineford. All the pirates became excited. Now a quarter of the New World is uninhabited. This is the best opportunity to climb to the top of 4 emperors. Zixa shixa shixi. Now the sea is going to be chaotic again, and our opportunity has come, Doflamingo said to Torbil with a smile on his face. According to the information I received, Marine's 100,000 troops were almost completely lost in the Battle of Marineford. Marine is no longer able to maintain order on the Grand Line. It's time for us to implement the Chang Plan. Is it finally going to start? Okay, I'll summon the Cotters right away. Torbil hurried out. Countless pirates swarmed towards the New World. In the entire Sabayati archipelago, there is only one big ship moored alone in the port, and that is the red-haired Red Force. 2.1. At this moment, Shanks is drinking with Rayleigh at Chucky's Tavern. This is the wine I specially brought from West Blue. This may be the last time I drink with you, Shanks and Rayleigh said. Are you going to the New World to compete for the position of 4 emperors? Rayleigh clinked glasses with Shanks, and then he drank the wine bowl in one gulp. Yes, I've been here long enough. Shanks drank the drink in one gulp, and then strode out of the bar. Looking at Shanks wearing a straw hat, Rayleigh seemed to see Roger's figure again. A new generation replaced the old one on the sea. With the passing of Roger and the Golden Lion, a new pirate will soon take over. This is the charm of the great pirate era. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 87. With the fall of Golden Lion, the territory he left behind suddenly became a hot topic. The forces of Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin all moved towards Golden Lion's territory. The pirates of the New Era are also flocking to the Golden Lion's territory. In the New World, every moment is shrouded in killing. The pirates of the New Era engaged in a fierce battle with the forces of the 4 emperors. During this battle, 2 pirates among the pirates of the New Era stood out. They were the red-haired Shanks and the sand crocodile. After Shanks came to the New World, he overran all his competitors with an invincible attitude. Although the red-hair pirates only had a few people and one ship, they had the largest territory. Crocodile, the sand crocodile, led his crew to advance all the way, and the 2 of them occupied 70% of the Golden Lion's territory. Now Marine is facing the most difficult test in history. Naval headquarters Marineford was bombed into rubble. Even the Marine guarding New World suffered casualties in this battle. Because of the death of the great pirate Golden Lion, pirates throughout the sea became more frenzied than ever before, and because of the lack of marine power, the people of countless islands suffered from the slaughter of pirates. This is the most chaotic era. Sengoku, this is the latest order from the government. Crane Vice Admiral handed a document to Sengoku with a solemn expression. During the battle at Marineford, Crane Vice Admiral was knocked unconscious by the explosion, and her head is still wrapped with white gauze, but now the pirates are too short of people, so she has to fight despite her illness. Because Aokiji and Akainu were seriously injured, they were also assisting Sengoku in processing documents, while Kizaru, Garp, and Zephyr were going around exterminating the evil pirates. How could they do this? Sengoku hammered the table in front of him hatefully. He used so much force that blood burst out from the wound he had wrapped. Seeing everyone else looking at him, Sengoku said tiredly, because of the loss of our troops, the government requires us to give up all the forces in New World, leaving only a G5 branch to concentrate all our efforts on strangling the pirates of the Grand Line and destroying them. Sin is nipped in the bud. What? What about the people in New World? Crane asked in surprise. Sengoku lamented, now we can no longer protect New World according to our strength, and the government also asked us to completely remove Shisabukai's name within a year. He also didn't expect that the Golden Lion could cause such heavy damage to Marine on its own. Now the consequences have begun to show, and they will definitely get worse in the future. Okay, today we have two things to discuss. The first is the bounty for Levi and his gang, and the second is the issue of Shishibukai Sengoku said, rubbing his eyebrows with a headache. When Levi was mentioned, everyone was silent. Levi rose to prominence 3 years ago, but in just 3 years, he became the most vicious pirate among pirates, killing celestial dragons, robbing heavenly gold, and marines. During the war, it was because of this man that Marine declined to this point. 5 billion belly Aokiji said lazily. Akainu's brows jumped heavily after hearing this, but he didn't say anything. So high, Crane Vice Admiral was surprised. Whitebeard, who is now regarded as the strongest man in the world, has a bounty of only 5,046 million belly. Levi's bounty is as high as Whitebeard's in an instant. Got it? This man has the strength of Admiral, and this man is far more dangerous than Whitebeard. Aokiji immediately silenced everyone with one sentence. As for Enel, give him a bounty of 2 billion. If he can follow a dangerous person like Levi, he is also a villain. As for everyone else, give him a bounty of 100 million, following Sengoku's order. Levi and his gang his worth immediately surpassed that of Whitebeard, becoming the pirate group with the largest bounty in the world. Let's discuss the Shishibukai thing now. Sengoku sat upright again. The original intention of the establishment of the Shishibukai system was to use pirates to control pirates. Although Sengoku and others tried their best to stop it, only one bear became a Shishibukai in so many years. However, the current situation on the sea is too corrupt, and Marine alone can no longer control the sea. Damn it, the Shishibukai system is imperative. I propose that Hawkeye can become one of the Shishibukai. Crane Vice Admiral suggested. What's the reason? Sengoku asked curiously. Hawkeye is now the world's greatest swordsman. His becoming a Shishibukai will allow swordsmen from all over the world to join our Marine and increase our Marine's combat power. The most important thing is that Hawkeye only has swords in his eyes, and he generally doesn't doing evil. Crane Vice Admiral analyzed it carefully for them. Okay, I agree with Hawkeye becoming a Shishibukai. Agree. Agree. So Hawkeye became Shisibukai's first candidate. Now for the second candidate, I propose that Boa Hancock, the Emperor of Nine Snakes, become Shishibukai. Sengoku said. Boa Hancock, Crane Vice Admiral frowned. She has investigated the new Emperor of Nine Snakes, who also owns Conqueror's Haki. Not only is she very powerful, but the 9 snakes behind her are also an extremely powerful nation. Boa Hancock just sailed this year, and she had a bounty of 100 million on her first voyage. But Boa Hancock is very close to Levi. If she is chosen as a candidate for Shishibukai, she might tip off Levi. The power of 9 snakes cannot be underestimated. We need to win over 457 and them. At the very least, we should not let them become enemies. Sengoku sees further than Crane. He wins over 9 snakes from a strategic perspective. 9 snakes are isolated from the world. What can we do to win them over? Akainu asks Sengoku. 9 Snake Island is located in the Calm Belt, with the natural barrier of Sea Kings. They have not yet become a member of the world government, so they have always relied on plundering to make a living. Dr. Vegapunk has developed technology that allows warships to enter and leave the Calm Belt freely. From now on, the Calm Belt will no longer be an obstacle. Sengoku smiled slightly. This was the only good news during this period. They are all Marine senior executives, and they knew the significance of this matter immediately, so it became a certainty that Hancock would become Shishibukai. What about Jinbei from the Fishmen clan? Aokiji suggested. He has fought against Tiger and Jinbei, so he naturally knows the power of Fishman karate. In addition, the Fishmen have an average physical fitness that is 10 times higher than that of humans, and they can live in the water like fish. If the fishmen can also by joining marine strength will also be greatly increased. Agree. Agree. So the third candidate was also decided. They didn't have suitable candidates for the following ones, so they could only leave this matter to be discussed in the future. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 88. What? Heavenly gold was robbed again. Sengoku stood up with a look of shock on his face. Ever since Levi robbed Sky Gold, Marine has also stepped up its efforts to protect Sky Gold. The most important thing is that the transportation routes of Sky Gold are completely confidential and only those at the Vice Admiral level know about it. Is it Levi's hand again? Sengoku asked. He couldn't help but think so, because it seems that only Levi has the courage on the sea now. No, it was Doflamingo and his gang who did it, he said to Sengoku with a serious look on his face. Crane Vice Admiral couldn't believe it when she first received the news. After all, she knew Doflamingo to be a very cautious person, and he also liked to direct behind the scenes. This kind of pushy thing was very inconsistent with Doflamingo's character. Speaking of Doflamingo, the face of the man wearing a flamingo coat also appeared in Sengoku's mind. Doflamingo is an extremely alternative pirate among pirates. His name is a pirate, but he is more like a gangster. His industries involve weapons, drug transactions, and he even has business dealings with Kaido regarding devil fruit. According to the investigation of the Marine Corps, Kaido obtained a considerable part of those devil fruits from Doflamingo. Moreover, he is also connected with many authoritative figures in the underground society, and there is a very hidden relationship network between them. Doflamingo's strength is not low, and he is a user with Paramecia devil fruit string fruit ability. Sengoku once considered absorbing him as a Shishibukai, but when he thought of his background, Sengoku gave up his idea. The full name of Doflamingo is Donquixote Doflamingo. The Donquixote family is one of the royal surnames of the 20 countries that established the world government. Their family belongs to the authentic celestial dragons. However, his father, Donquixote, advocated that celestial dragons are the same as ordinary people, and announced that he would give up the privileges of celestial dragons and leave the Holy Land Mariejois with his family of 4 to live an ordinary life. But after the people who were persecuted by the celestial dragons learned that he was once a celestial dragon, they often tortured their family. After his mother died of illness, he shot his father and returned with his father's head. Mariejois wanted to become a celestial dragons again, but because the other celestial dragons did not accept him, he had no choice but to become a pirate and wander the sea. The reason why Sengoku knows so clearly is because his adopted son is Doflamingo's younger brother, Donquixote Rosinante. What else did he say? Sengoku asked. According to Sengoku's understanding, Doflamingo must have a deep meaning in taking this step. Doflamingo never does stupid things without profit. He wants to talk to you personally. Crane Vice Admiral handed a phone bug to Sengoku. Marshal Sengoku, long time no see. Doflamingo's voice came from the phone in front of Sengoku. What do you want? Sengoku asked succinctly. Marshal Sengoku is indeed a happy man. In this case, I will make it clear that I want a Shishibukai quota. At the same time, I want to get back the things of our Donquixote family. I want to become the king of Dressrosa. Doflamingo's voice among the phone bugs couldn't help but make people laugh. Sengoku gasped. Sengoku can give him a place in Shishibukai, but Sengoku has no right to grant him the throne of Dressrosa. Dressrosa is located in the New World, a tropical resort island known as Love and Passion. After the Donquixote family became the Celestial Dragons, the Rika family became the kings of Dressrosa. Dressrosa is a country affiliated with the government, and this country is extremely wealthy. It pays a large amount of heavenly gold to celestial dragons every year. As a country affiliated with the world government, only the government can make decisions on the appointment and removal of mistresses. I can agree to your first condition, but I need to report the second condition to the world government. Sengoku took a deep breath and said. Tell the world government for me that if I can become the king of Dressrosa, I will not only return all the heavenly gold I received, but also give you 10 billion more belly. I will also pay double the heavenly gold every year. Remember, you only have 3 days. After Doflamingo finished speaking, he hung up the phone, leaving Sengoku alone in deep thought. The conditions given by Doflamingo are really generous. The most important thing is that he has the lifeline of Marine. Since the last time the heavenly gold was robbed by Levi, Marine has put 40% of its own funds plus the gold collected by other countries. After replenishing the sky gold, Marine is still heavily in debt. If the sky gold is robbed again this time, Marine will not have the money to collect another batch of sky gold for celestial dragons. Report to General Marshal Kong. This is beyond our scope of authority, he said softly next to him. Young master, do you think Marine will agree to our request? Torrible asked the toilet. Of course. Do you know why I am looting the heavenly gold now? Now Aokiji and Akainu are seriously injured, Kizaru and Garp are suppressing pirates all over the world, and Marine has no combat power to match me. What's more, if this batch of heavenly gold is lost, the world government cannot afford the wrath of the celestial dragons. The most important thing is that I know something that the celestial dragons don't want others to know. They want me to shut up, so they can only meet my conditions. After saying that, Doflamingo laughed, and Torble also. Then he laughed. It must be said that the government's efficiency is still very high. In the afternoon of the next day, Sengoku's phone bug started ringing. After Sengoku put down the phone, he slumped on the chair tiredly. He smiled bitterly at he and said, the General Marshal said that world government agreed to Doflamingo's conditions, but Doflamingo cannot seize power violently, and world government will handle other matters. How could they do this? What's wrong with Dressrosa? What's wrong with King Liku, Qian Wangzhou? How could they sell this franchise country to a pirate just because of a batch of heavenly gold? Then what do they want from our government? Use. He completely lost his composure. She never expected that world government would sell out a franchise country like this, without the citizens of this country knowing anything about it. The celestial dragons have spoken. Sengoku smiled bitterly and said, the government has not yet started discussions, but they received an order from the 5 elders, saying that Doflamingo's conditions must be met. It seems that this was all calculated by Doflamingo. Crane Vice Admiral had already predicted that Dressrosa would live in dire straits from now on. So, a month later, the royal family of Dressrosa, the Riku clan, massacred the people and collected heavy taxes. The world government took back the throne of the Riku clan and passed the throne back to Don Quixote Doflamingo, the heir of the Don Quixote family. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 89. Doflamingo is really a good trick. He turned from a pirate into the king of a country without knowing it. Levi lay on the beach chair with a sigh on his face. Doflamingo is a rare hero in this world. He has strength and means, knows how to manage, knows how to advance and retreat, and knows how to endure. He will definitely become a big shot. Levi couldn't help but feel sorry for King Riku. He was such a good old man who loved his people like his own son. When he first took over Dressrosa, after learning about the atrocities the Don Quixote family treated the small humans, he apologized like the small humans in order to atone for his sins and asked the small humans to taking away the needed materials at will. The little human race became a goblin legend. King Riku is a good king supported by all the people, but after Doflamingo came to the island, he first threatened King Riku with the safety of the country and asked him to collect a huge sum of 10 billion belly in one day, otherwise he would just massacre the entire Dressrosa. King Liku was concerned about the safety of the country, so he begged the citizens of the country to pay him all the cash around him, but this played into Doflamingo's hands. So under the control of Doflamingo's parasite string, King Riku and his army began to massacre 760 of his citizens and set fire to villages and towns. King Riku's behavior was disgusted by the people across the country. With the help of the world government and Doflamingo, King Riku's family was overthrown, and Doflamingo regained control of the throne of Dressrosa. King Riku's eldest daughter Scarlet was killed by officials of the Doflamingo family. The second daughter, Violet, became a leader of the Doflamingo family because of her gaze fruit, codenamed Violet, and she usually walks around as a dancer. Cyrus, who now has the reputation of being undefeated in 3,000 games, must have encountered something unexpected. In the original plot, he turned into a toy and has been secretly protecting and training his daughter Rebecca. Now the sugar and childlike fruit are in Levi's hands, and he doesn't know about Doflamingo. What fruit is used to control Dressrosa? Among Dressrosa, the little human Leishman's healing fruit. Levi is very fond of it. When it is convenient, Levi will take all the little humans away from Dressrosa. I heard that the little humans are very good at cultivating plants. From now on, this will happen. All the plants on the big ship are ready to be taken care of by BFFF, them. Ludo, what do you think about this? Levi asked Ludo. At this moment, Ludo was standing on the edge of the ship's side. He was sweating profusely and still shaking. After seeing Levi and Enel practice with lightning, he also got inspiration, and he developed the electric shock technique, which can silently damage the enemy's internal organs, truly killing people invisible. Now Ludo is using electric shock techniques to stimulate his body to strengthen his body. With the Op fruit bug, Ludo can not only control the size of the electric shock, but he can also see the damage and growth of his cells, truly maximizing the efficiency of his training. Hearing Levi ask him, Ludo glanced at the newspaper and said, after he was rejected by the celestial dragons, he was ready to find an opportunity to clear himself, and then plotted for the throne of Dressrosa. This was all planned by him many years ago. Right, Baby 5? I don't know. Baby 5 was pouring wine for Levi and others when she heard Ludo asking her. At this moment, the girl was holding the plate with a blank look on her face, looking extremely cute and stupid. That's right, you are just busy looking for your fiancé. Why would you care about these things? Ludo muttered. You're talking nonsense. I was young and ignorant, but what does this have to do with young Master Dover's plan? Baby 5 blushed and argued with Ludo. Suddenly, Hancock, Monet, Perona, and Sugar burst into laughter. The whole boat was filled with a happy atmosphere. Ding! The sign-in task has been released. Host is asked to arrive at the Toland Kingdom within 10 days to sign in. After defeating all the children of Charlotte Linlin, the host will get the top armament hacking. While Levi was enjoying his small life with peace of mind, the long-dormant system once again issued a new task for Levi. Toland Kingdom. Isn't this Auntie's territory? Levi thought about it, and it seemed that he still had an invitation to Auntie's tea party. If it hadn't been for the task issued by the system, Levi would have forgotten about it. Monet, when will Auntie's tea party be held? Levi asked Monet, who was lying on the cushion doing exercises. At this moment, Monet was wearing a green swimsuit, and her long wavy hair covered her left eye, making her look more charming. When Levi asked her, she said lazily, "On my body, come and get it yourself." Levi took a look at Monet's clothes and saw that her clothes had no pockets. Seeing Levi's confused look, the other little Lolita immediately burst into laughter. Hancock frowned, and she walked up to Monet, and then she pulled out a gold-gilded invitation. Levi was also eye-opening to the way girls hide things. "There's still half a month left, my boss, you're so cute." Unexpectedly Monet said to Levi, not caring about Hancock's presence next to him. The arrival of Hancock hit Monet deeply. He was not as strong as others, and his figure was not as good as others. Everything was inferior to Hancock, which made Monet almost autistic. In order to regain the game, Monet went all out to fight Hancock. Hancock moved lightly, and she came to the side of Levi's chair. She breathed softly beside Levi and asked, "I heard that Charlotte Linlin personally arranged a marriage for you. She has betrothed her 14th daughter, Charlotte Smoothie, to you. I have learned a lot about Charlotte Smoothie. She is a big pirate with a bounty of 932 million Baileys, and she also has a pair of long legs. Alas! It seems that I am destined to be abandoned by the unfaithful, and end up alone in 9 snakes like Granny Gloriosa." Hancock's tone was filled with sorrow, and he looked very pitiful. Looking at Hancock, who was possessed by the drama queen, Levi couldn't help but feel speechless. This little girl has become more and more unrestrained recently. In front of Levi, Hancock is no longer the arrogant empress, but has become a little daughter-in-law. "You little goblin! See how I teach you a lesson." Amid Hancock's exclamations, Levi hugged Hancock and walked toward the cabin. Behind them, the teasing laughter of these Lolita people came again. Afterwards, Levi's golden ship left for the kingdom of Tolant. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 90. Kingdom of Tolant. Because Charlotte Linlin's tea party is approaching, everyone in the Big Mom Pirates team has begun to prepare intensively. This tea party is different from ordinary tea parties. This tea party is the wedding of Charlotte Linlin's 14th daughter and the great pirate Levi. Because the death of Golden Lion caused wars everywhere in the New World, many of the producing areas of the dessert raw materials needed by Charlotte Linlin are in war, so it is much more difficult to obtain raw materials. The scale of the wedding was determined based on Levi's bounty. Levi's bounty suddenly jumped to the level of 4 emperors, causing many of the original preparations to be rebuilt. Now the war for territory in New World has entered a fierce stage. Every day, several pirate groups with high self-esteem come to challenge, which makes Julat Katakuma feel more and more manic. "Hey, brother Katakuri, you seem to be in a bad mood today." A tall man wore a helmet decorated with vertical mayonnaise and biscuit-decorated base corners on both sides of the helmet. He wears black and white biscuit-style armor, with the word bis on his belt, and a pointed and long beard. The man, who looked like a general, holding a sword, wearing a cape, and a large biscuit shield on his back, asked in a rough voice. It was the biscuit soldier of his brother Charlotte Cracker, who is also one of the 4 dessert stars. "My observation Haki told me that I will face the first disastrous defeat in my life in the next few days." Katakuri glanced at his younger brother, and then his eyes looked towards the depths of the sea. "What? Besides the 4 emperors, who else would defeat a monster like you?" Cracker was surprised. "You know, Charlotte Katakuri. But the second son of the Charlotte family is the leader of the 4 dessert generals of the Big Mom Pirates. Katakuri's bounty is as high as 1,057,000,000 berries. He has powerful armament Haki and conqueror's Haki. His best observation Haki can even foresee the future. Known as the crowning masterpiece of the Charlotte family, he has never failed since his birth. You underestimate the pirates in the world. Since the death of the Golden Lion, heroes have emerged on the sea, just like the new red-haired Shanks. He has defeated the sand crocodile. As long as he gets the approval of the other 3 emperors, he will be able to become the 4 emperors." Katakuri's eyes were full of seriousness. For some reason, he remembered the battle at Marineford. Katakuri also watched his brother-in-law Levi's battle in Big Mom's palace. It was that battle that completely made Charlotte Smoothie return to Levi. "Where is my brother-in-law?" Katakuri asked Cracker. "Cracker is responsible for these things. They have arrived at the realm of all nations, and Charlotte Smoothie, along with Baron Eggman and Pocket Moose, who sent Levi the invitation at the time, went to greet them." Cracker shrugged his shoulders and said helplessly, "They are not married yet, Why don't you stop them? Katakuri was also speechless to his sister. How can I stop him? I can't beat him either, Snickers said with a bitter smile. Forget it, as long as Levi arrives, everything will be easy. After Katakuri said that, he headed towards the interior of the Toland kingdom. Now that the big shots in the New World are starting to come here, he still has to keep an eye on his younger brothers and sisters to prevent them from making any mistakes. With Cake Island as the main body, there are 34 islands scattered nearby, which are governed by 34 ministers respectively. The general name of the sea area is Tato Land. The goal of Tato Land is to become a home where members of almost all races and tribes in the world can coexist in harmony, and Big Mom longs for a utopia where all races and species can coexist in harmony. Baron Eggman kept introducing the scenery of the Kingdom of Toland to him. Next to him, Pokemus kept interrupting and adding. They have received many distinguished guests, but they have never felt as difficult as today. No one else, because today Charlotte Smoothie came with them to meet her nominal fiancé, Levi, the super pirate with a fortune of 5 billion. Now Smoothie is on Levi's boat, and she is eye to eye with Hancock, neither of whom wants to give in. Baron Eggman and Pokemus felt waves of murderous intent spreading from the eyes of the two women. Please give me flowers. Enel and others also felt that something was wrong, so they all ran to their rooms to enjoy the unique beauty of the Toland kingdom. Every time they pass an island, they will exclaim, because every island here is made of a kind of dessert, just like the Cake Island, which is composed of large cakes and cream, and looks like multiple layers of cakes. Layer cake. Jam Island is a jam-themed island, and Cheese Island is a cheese-themed island. Located on the west side of Cake Island. Sugar is a child, and she especially likes these things. Baron Eggman is worthy of being the greeter of the Big Mom Pirates. He is very discerning. After seeing children on Levi's boat, they will visit an island every time they pass by. The delicacies served made these little Lolita addicted. 0. Ahead is 100% Island Fruit Tree Town, which is the territory of Lady Charlotte Smoothie. You will rest here tonight, and we will go to Cake Island tomorrow, Baron Eggman said to Levi politely. The etiquette and demeanor are impeccable. As soon as he and Pokemus got off Levi's boat, they immediately fled towards Cake Island in a hurry. At this moment, their backs were soaked with sweat, and they were afraid that Levi or Smoothie would keep them here again, and even they would feel embarrassed if the two women shared a husband. This is the island I govern, please come with me, Smoothie smiled at Levi. When Hancock saw Smoothie looking at her, she turned her head away angrily. Let's go, Hancock, let's go see the scenery of 10,000 kingdoms, it's really unique. Levi held Hancock's hand and walked down. Just kidding, he was also very embarrassed. According to the normal script, Smoothie should not have looked at him with disgust, and then everyone in Charlotte Linland's family would laugh at him, and then Levi would yell, 30 years Hedong, 30 years River. Zemo bullied the young man into poverty. He started a fight and defeated them all. But Smoothie fell in love with him as soon as he saw him. What's going on? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 91. Hancock and Smoothie looked at each other disgustedly. Seeing Levi taking the initiative to help her get off the boat, Hancock couldn't help but snorted proudly at Smoothie, and then she walked off like a proud swan with her white neck held high. Boat. Is that our brother-in-law? Under Levi's boat, two long-legged girls like Smoothie were already waiting there. They were Smoothie's sisters, 15-year-old Charlotte Strom and 16-year-old Charlotte Sneeman. Although Charlotte Linland's pirate group is composed of children, there are many factions among the children, and their mother has always had the idea of valuing boys over girls. Among the 34 ministers, the vast majority are men. Because of Charlotte Smoothie's terrifying talent, she fought her way to the second position among the 4 dessert stars. Among Charlotte Ling 297 Ling's children, her bounty is second only to Charlotte Katakuri. In order to fight for stronger power, Charlotte Smoothie could only unite her other daughters. Because her 2 younger sisters were her biological sisters, they became Charlotte Smoothie's confidants for their clique. Chiang, her 2 younger sisters were really worried. "Sir, you are back, this is your brother-in-law." The 2 long-legged girls greeted Levi enthusiastically. They had the same idea as Smoothie at first. An unknown person born in the first half of the Grand Line also wanted to marry the jewel of the Charlotte family. Although Levi's bounty at that time was a full billion Baileys, Charlotte Smoothie's bounty of 932 million Baileys at that time was a bounty many years ago. This was what she had done for her family when she was young bounties during the Southern and Northern Wars. The most important thing is that there is a chain of contempt among pirates. Pirates born in the Grand Line look down on pirates from all over the world. Pirates in the New World look down on pirates from the Grand Line. Therefore, although Levi at that time said he is the first person in the new generation of pirate bounty, but he really doesn't have the eyes of sister Charlotte Smoothie. Even when Charlotte Smoothie learned that Levi had become her husband, Charlotte Smoothie even prepared to go to the Grand Line to hack Levi to death. How could Charlotte Smoothie marry a man from the Grand Line? Weak chicken. But she was stopped by Charlotte Katakuri when she was going out to sea, and he also scolded Charlotte Smoothie severely. There was no way, she couldn't beat Katakuri, and Katakuri's observation haki she had already practiced to the extent that she could foresee the future for a short period of time. No matter what method she used, she could not hide it from Katakuri's eyes, so her plan could only be aborted. But then the battle with Marineford completely made her see Levi's terrifying cultivation. Although she was very strong, she thought she couldn't do it in a one-on-one challenge with Marine Admiral. Charlotte Linland's strategy is to tie the strong men of various races into her own warship through marriage. As her daughter, Charlotte Smoothie is naturally deeply influenced by her. She clearly realized that Levi's strength could gain her greater authority, and Charlotte Smoothie even had a bold idea, that is, let Levi defeat Charlotte Katakuri and make her a subordinate of the Charlotte Linland family. One at the helm. After Big Mom dies, she can become the new 4 emperors. At that time, she can become the top woman in the world. What a glory that will be. Levi is the key to their strength, so they can't help but be interested. Brother-in-law, you are tired. Please come over here. Come here, prepare a banquet for your brother-in-law. 2 long-legged beauties nearly 5 meters tall were bending over and nodding and bowing to Levi. This feeling, not to mention how inconsistent it was. Get out of my way, Levi is my husband, no one else can get involved. Hancock broke out completely, and a tyrannical wave of conquerors' haki spread out in all directions instantly. The people on the island fainted in an instant, leaving only the 3 Smoothie sisters. Conqueror's haki, I can't believe that this pirate empress has the same qualifications as Katakuri's brother, Conqueror's haki. The 3 Smoothie sisters were completely shocked. As Hancock was a new star in the sea, Smoothie and the others also knew something about her. However, Hancock's bounty was only 100 million, which was not even among the Charlotte family. That long-legged girl, I've been putting up with you for a long time, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Hancock raised her eyebrows, and pointed her slender finger at Smoothie. Oh? Are you going to challenge me? The corners of Charlotte Smoothie's mouth turned up. Slave arrow. Hancock touched her lips lightly with her finger, and a huge pink heart-shaped substance appeared in her hand. Then she pulled the heart back like a bow and arrow, and then pink arrows shot towards Smooth like a storm. Good luck and go. Smoothie jumped back, and then all the places touched by the pink arrows turned into stone statues. Sister Hancock is mighty. Behind Hancock, Perona, Sugar, and others were cheering for her excitedly. They were also unhappy with this long-legged girl. She looked like a stinker as soon as she got on the boat. Can you turn everything you touch into stone? An interesting ability, Smoothie marveled. After that, her whole body began to secrete a little moisture, and it looked as if her whole body was soaked with sweat, which looked very weird. Smoothie's right hand circle was thrown forward fiercely, and then drops of liquid flew towards Hancock like a rainstorm. The amount of these liquids was so large that they not only cancelled out all Hancock's arrows, but also flew towards Hancock. Perfume femur. Hancock jumped into the air and kicked Lot quickly with her long legs. Smoothie smiled slightly, and then countless liquids 1.9 gathered on her arm, and a huge arm hit Hancock. The moment the fist intersected with Hancock, Hancock's feet moved together, and Charlotte's huge arm was kicked by Hancock. Scattered. It's a while, sister. I have to be serious. Smoothie pulled out her scary long sword. Afterwards, Levi felt that the island suddenly began to become dry, Smoothie's figure began to grow larger, and the aura on her body continued to grow stronger. It's changed, it's gotten bigger, it's so scary. Sugar's eyes jumped out of their sockets in fright. This is my ability to juice fruit. This is the gap between you and me. Just accept your fate. Smoothie's height keeps getting taller, and the long sword in her hand also becomes very huge. A 40-meter long sword energy struck Hancock in the head like a brilliant force of heaven. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 92. It's so big, how could it be so big? Everyone was shocked by Smoothie. Smoothie is a hybrid between the long-legged clan and the human clan. Her height is now comparable to that of the giant clan, and the most exaggerated thing is her sword aura. Levi has seen many sword masters' slashes. Before the sword energy was swung out, the sword chi was equivalent to that of a long sword. But now Smoothie's sword chi has reached 40 meters. If he waits for the sword chi to be swung out, it's scary to have to wait. Boom. With Smoothie's wave of the hand, the sword energy was completely released, and the entire island was cut into two halves. The sword energy struck the sea, causing the entire sea to immediately stir up huge waves hundreds of meters high. The island they were on was constantly rocking like a boat in a storm. Hancock dodged the blow in embarrassment, and then she was shocked to find that Smoothie's sword was raised again. You were able to dodge quickly just now, let me see how you dodge this time. Smoothie held a sword in both hands, and she slashed Hancock's head with a sword energy that was dozens of meters long. Hancock's pretty face turned pale. Only now did she understand how terrifying the pirates with a bounty of 900 million Baileys were. The strength of these people was infinitely close to that of the four emperors, and their moves could easily cause the world to shatter. It seems Hancock has reached his limit. Levi originally wanted Smoothie and Hancock to slowly practice their moves, but he didn't expect Smoothie to use big moves as soon as he came up. Let's see how you take my move. Smoothie slashed Hancock's head with all his strength. The blow just now was dodged by the pirate in front of him who had a mere 100 million belly bounty. Smoothie was very embarrassed. Besides, if this woman didn't die, I'm afraid her marriage to Levi would cause a lot of troubles. Thinking of this, the murderous intent in her eyes became more intense, and the sword fell even faster. Boom. Charlotte Smoothie's slash hit hard, and the entire island was immediately in a mess. I'm actually still alive. Hancock saw Smoothie's slash coming towards her. She wanted to dodge, but found that Smoothie had sealed her dodge space. She thought she was dead, but she didn't expect it. Still alive. Brother Levi, when she saw the scene in front of her, her eyes were filled with tears. In front of her, Levi's 7-star sword had been unsheathed. Now Levi's 7-star sword has held Siji's long sword. At this moment, Levi, who was more than 2 meters tall, was holding a sword that was more than 40 meters tall. The scene was really quite inconsistent. You are truly worthy of being a brother-in-law for being able to withstand Sister Smoothie's full blow at this moment, Smoothie's two sisters looked at the scene in front of them and couldn't help but be more convinced of Levi's strength. You know, even Charlotte Katakuri didn't dare to resist Smoothie's all-out attack, but now Levi not only caught him head-on, but he also seemed to be able to do it with ease. Levi, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Hancock looked at Levi's tall back, and she immediately started crying aggrievedly. She didn't know why, but she just wanted to cry. Silly girl, Smoothie's devil fruit has awakened. Of course you can't beat her, Levi comforted Hancock with a smile. Devil fruit awakens. Enel and Tizalo looked thoughtful. They also felt that their devil fruit still had great potential to be tapped. After seeing Smoothie's battle, they understood how they would develop it next. Devil fruit. Levi raised his body slightly, and he opened Smoothie's sword. I said, Smoothie, you just had murderous intentions. Levi's eyes narrowed slightly. Levi's woman didn't have the turn to teach others a lesson, even if the other person was a woman. She is too weak and not worthy of you. Only I am worthy of you, Smoothie said matter-of-factly. Is this your confidence? Yes, a devil fruit awakener in his 20s should indeed be proud. Levi lowered his head and murmured to himself, then he raised his head suddenly, my woman, no matter how strong or weak she is still my woman. Who do you think you are and how dare you make decisions for me? Levi's conqueror's haki instantly enveloped the three Smoothie sisters. They immediately felt difficulty breathing and almost fainted. This conqueror's haki is actually more powerful than Katakuri's brother, and is almost as powerful as my mother's haki. Smoothie was also shocked. Levi's haki has far surpassed Katakuri, and even feels similar to Charlotte Linlin, who fell into narcosis and went berserk. In that direction, is that kid Levi. Charlotte Linlin, who was happily eating cakes at the Cake Island, stopped when she felt a wave of Conqueror's haki that was no less than her own. It's the direction of Juice Island. Katakuri also felt this haki, his expression changed drastically, and then his observation haki and Charlotte Linlin's observation haki spread towards Juice Island. When they saw Levi confronting Smoothie, their haki began to retreat. Being so humiliated by Levi, Smoothie's arrogance also rose. She was also a genius. She grew up surrounded by praise from her brothers and sisters in the family. How could she be ridiculed like this? Smooth's chest rose and fell violently. Levi, I am your fiancé. It's ridiculous, I didn't agree to this marriage. Levi sneered at her statement. I'm going to kill you. Smoothie was completely irritated by Levi. Her devil fruit ability was fully activated, and an invisible circle centered on her continued to spread. 643. Wherever the circle touched, everything became withered, as if all the water had been squeezed out. Smoothie grew a little taller, and she yelled at Levi, Levi, take my blow. At this moment, Smoothie's long sword had already entered the same giant pillar, and she held the sword in both hands and swept towards Levi. But there were no violent fluctuations on Levi's body. The long sword in his hand just lightly pointed towards Smoothie's long sword. When the tip of Levi's sword touched Smoothie's huge sword energy, Smoothie's sword broke inch by inch, and only the sword body remained. How could this happen? Smoothie stared at her sword with blank eyes. She never thought that she would be defeated so easily. Is this Levi's strength? Your sword energy seems to be extremely powerful, but your sword energy is dispersed and not condensed. You just gathered all the power together and did not really turn it into your own power. This kind of move of yours is a huge flaw in the eyes of strong men of the same level. Levi said to Smoothie. While Smoothie was deep in thought, a figure quickly approached here. Sir Smoothie, there are pirates sneaking into the historical text. Mom wants you to go and capture those pirates. Pock Musk ran over in a panic.